What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Rooster Reacts Korea. If you want to be in the Twitch chat over there, the link is down below. If you want to support the channel, like, subscribe, comment. If you don't do that, we just appreciate your viewership. If you do, make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when the videos drop, man. Today we got our girl Hanaya. We risked our lives getting my little sister back. Let's check out what this is about.
I've been interested in Germany for a long time. Like the Korean peninsula, it was a divided nation, and eventually it became one again. But here, in this German village in Texas, a different question came to me. How did the Germans back then make it all the way to this distant place, and how did they put down roots in this unfamiliar land? About 180 years ago, the journey from Germany to this part of Texas was no simple act of immigration. It was a journey toward a new life, but that path was never an easy one. People had to cross the rough Atlantic for months, and even after arriving in Texas, they still had to travel hundreds more kilometers. Along the way, some lost family members to illness, and some never reached their destination at all.
I'm interested in why she's talking about Germany first. Because she's from Korea.
Some left for a better tomorrow, others left just to survive. The reasons were different, but the weight of having to leave home must have been heavy for everyone alike. Thinking about their journey, a memory suddenly came back to me, the day my scattered family had to risk everything just to be together again. My youngest sister, Sena, left behind alone in North Korea, and the journey we had to endure, one so dangerous for our scattered family to be together again.
Oh, that sounds
Today, in this
terrible.
quiet library in the German village, I want to walk you through the memory of that day.
Oh, is this one gonna make me cry, dude?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, this little library is very quaint. Very quaint.
As I stepped inside the library, the first thing that greeted me was silence. There were no voices to be heard, yet that very silence felt as if it held countless stories within it. The slower I walked
She's
along
such a
the
good writer.
shelves, the heavier this silence seemed to grow. Perhaps history doesn't always speak loudly. Perhaps it speaks more deeply in quiet spaces like this. Then, without meaning to, I stopped in front of a bust. He said nothing, but somehow it felt as though he were asking me a question. Then tell me, what kind of life have you lived, and what story do you mean to leave behind? One day in April 2006, the phone buzzed in the silence of the room. Hello, my mother's
Okay.
voice came through the phone, urgent and breathless. Hannah, Sena, she's in China. My breath stopped, the child I had missed for years, calling her name in my heart. The 9-year-old girl who had watched us leave with those bright, sparkling eyes. She had really crossed the Tumen River? My mother spoke again. We have to bring her back quickly. I can only rest easy if you go. She had said the same words the day I crossed the Tumen River with Ina. You're the only one I trust. I answered simply, I'll bring her back safely.
Bro, this is heavy. This is really heavy.
Sena was in Tumen, Jilin province, the city closest to North Korea. I was hiding in Shenyang, a full day's train ride away, but distance wasn't the problem. Getting out of Tumen with Sena was another escape in itself. Police were stationed throughout Jilin province, close.
If you try to do this and you get caught, you're dead, or you're a slave after this. The risk. I mean that means North Korea is just terrible, man. It's just terrible. People want to get out that bad that they would risk their life. It has to be like absolutely a grueling life.
To the North Korean border, at train stations, on roads, at checkpoints. As the number of defectors grew, Chinese security forces checked identities constantly. One
And they
word
worked
to
together.
stop walking, one gesture to show ID. That was all it took for a life to end. If I got caught while going to get Sina, it would all be over. Even so, only one thought remained in my mind. I have to bring Sina home. I packed a few changes of clothes for Sina and some lotion, then boarded the train to Tumen. I stared out the window, imagining what Sina might look like now. When I arrived in Tumen, I pulled out my phone. My fingertips trembled slightly. I called the broker. "Who is this?" A low, rough voice. "I'm Sena's older sister." A brief silence. "Name, Kang Hana." Another silence. That silence was somehow more frightening than words. A moment later, the man spoke. "Wait there." Even after the call ended, there was no room for relief. Some people were tricked by brokers and taken away. Others were handed over to the authorities for money.
Oh, Jesus.
I stood at the entrance of the alley and waited. How long had I been waiting? A man slowly walked out from the depths of the alley. "Follow me." The alley twisted like a maze. We turned through narrow, dark paths again and again. Finally, the man stopped in front of a rundown house. "Wait." The door closed. Even breathing deeply felt dangerous. Behind that one door was my sister, the one I hadn't seen in years. I could hardly believe it.
Oh, my.
The door slowly opened. Small Sena walked out from the darkness. I recognized her instantly. In my memory, Sena was still 9 years old, but now the child stood before me at 15. Why is she so small? Her cheeks were sunken, her hands as thin as twigs. Only her eyes were alive. Layered inside those eyes was time I knew nothing about. Sena looked like a young tree that had survived too many harsh winds. Tears rose. I couldn't cry. This place was still...
What a line. You can almost imagine her. You could almost picture her in your mind. She was starved, overworked more than likely. Holy shit, dude.
Dangerous. "Let's go to Mom now." Sana nodded without a word. I helped Sina change into the clothes I had brought and generously applied lotion to her dry, cracked skin.
Oh, poor baby.
Before heading to the train station, I drilled Sena on a few basic Chinese phrases over and over. I believed that even just a few words of Chinese could save her life if things went wrong. When we reached the gate, 2 black uniforms came into view, Chinese police. I pulled Sena forward from behind me and said, "Sena, stand in front of me." Sena quickly stepped ahead. It was our turn. "My sister's ticket is here too." I spoke in Chinese and stretched my right arm out, pushing both tickets toward the officer. The moment his eyes dropped to the tickets, I shoved Sena forward hard with my left hand. Sena shot through the gate. Once we were both through, we boarded the train without looking back and took our seats.
Holy shit, dude.
The train departed, but there was no relief until we cleared Jilin province. How far had we gone? In the distance, I could see Chinese officers scanning passengers, checking documents. It was then. Sena spoke in the smallest voice. "Sis, if I get caught, say you don't know me."
Aw, she...
For a moment, time seemed to stop. In that moment, Sina's words, thinking only of her sister even then, sent a wave of tears crashing up from somewhere deep inside me. How could this child say something like that? I gripped Sina's hand tightly and said, "I will never leave you alone again." Sina held my hand just as tightly. "Please, God, please help us." Prayer was all I had. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of footsteps stopped in front of us. Tickets. I handed them over. The officer looked at the tickets, then at Sina, then at me. I turned to Sina with a calm expression and spoke in Chinese. Are you hungry? Si. We can eat once we get a little further. How? Even in that tense moment, I was amazed at how precisely Sina used the Chinese she had just learned. The officer looked back and forth between us, returned the tickets, and moved on to the next passenger. Only when the
Wow.
sound of his footsteps faded to the end of the car did we breathe, so quietly, so small, it could barely be heard.
Jesus
We rode on for a long
Christ.
time until the sky grew dim and an announcement came over the speakers. We were leaving Jilin province. With the tension finally easing, Sina turned to look out the window for the first time. There was so much I wanted to ask, how she had been living all this time, whether she had been afraid crossing the Tumen River. But in the end, I asked nothing. Sena had only just crossed one border. Her heart still seemed to be somewhere back along that river. What she needed wasn't questions, it was time.
피어가 더 세겠는데요?
This is harrowing. Absolutely harrowing. No way.
막내 갖고 있는데?
Oh my gosh, dude. Holy shit. I'm so lucky I got born American, bro. I'm so lucky, dude. Poor girl. And we don't even know what she went through. Hanaya never asked. Why make her relive the trauma, you know? That was a pretty powerful. Put my life into perspective. I think I'm sad and depressed. I can't imagine. Can't imagine living in those kinds of conditions. It's crazy. It's just that's a strong little girl right there. If you want to be in the Twitch chat over there, the link is down below. If you want to support the channel, this all seems so trivial to say now. Leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you don't do that, we just appreciate you watching. If you do, make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when the videos drop. I don't want to say we hope you enjoyed this video, but we hope you think about your life in a different perspective from it. Thank you for watching. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Love you.